There's a man who, by every measure the world keeps, had nothing. He was born a slave. He did not own his own body. Early in his life, his leg was broken. By some accounts, twisted slowly in a vice by a master who wanted to test him, and he limped for the rest of his days. He could be sold. He could be beaten. He could be killed on a whim, and no law would have called it crime. And yet this man slept more soundly than the emperor in his palace. He feared nothing that the powerful could do to him. Centuries of philosophers, kings, and prisoners have turned to his words to find a calm they could not find anywhere else. How is that possible? How does a crippled slave become freer than the man who owns him? He did not escape. He did not rebel. He discovered something, one distinction, one question, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It splits every worry you have ever had into two piles. And a strange truth Epictetus understood that almost everyone today still misses is that all of your suffering is hiding in just one of them. His name was Epictetus, and the entire weight of his philosophy rests on a single opening line. Some things are within our power, and some things are not. That is it. That is the whole foundation. But sit with it, because it is sharper than it sounds. Within your power, truly completely yours, is a very short list. Your judgments, your choices, your effort, the way you respond to what happens, what you decide to value, and what you decide to do next. That is the kingdom you actually rule. Outside your power is nearly everything else. Other people, their opinions of you, the past, which is already written, the future, which has not arrived, your reputation, your body, in the end, the weather, the result of your hardest work, whether the thing you fear comes to pass. Epictetus called this the dichotomy of control, the dividing line between what is yours and what is not. And he made a claim that is almost violent in its simplicity. Nearly all human misery comes from one mistake. We pour ourselves into commanding the things we cannot move, and we neglect the one small territory we actually own. Let me give that dividing line a name you can carry, so it stays with you. Call it the two boxes. Every worry you have can be dropped into one of two boxes. Box 1, things I control, my actions, my effort, my response. Box 2, things I do not control, outcomes, other people, the world. The Stoic does not try to empty box 2. He simply stops living inside it. Because here is what happens when you don't. Notice what you actually worry about right now today. Will they like me? Will it work out? Will the diagnosis be bad? Will the message get a reply? Will I be judged? Almost every one of those lives in box 2, the box you cannot control. So you spend your strength pushing against a wall that will not move, and then you give the exhaustion a name. You call it anxiety. Epictetus would only nod. Of course you suffer. You have set your heart on things that were never yours to command. Now hold the image of the man himself, because the idea becomes unbreakable when you see it lived. There is a story told of Epictetus and a master. The master, in anger, begins to twist his leg. Epictetus, calm, simply says, "You will break it." The master keeps twisting. The leg breaks. And Epictetus, without rage, without panic, says only, "There, I told you that you would break it." Whether the tale is literal or sharpened by his students, it carries the whole teaching in a single scene. The master could reach his leg. The master could not reach his mind. "You can chain my leg," Epictetus told his students, "but not even Zeus himself can overpower my will." That is the secret of the slave who is freer than the emperor. His freedom never depended on his circumstances, so no circumstance could take it from him. The body lived in box 2. The man lived in box 1. And the man no one could touch. So let's bring this out of ancient Rome and into the rooms you actually live in. Watch how often you hand the keys to your peace to a stranger. The first place is the screen in your hand. You wake, and before your feet touch the floor, you reach for the news, the feed, the endless scroll. And what is the feed but a fire hose of box 2? Wars you cannot end, scandals you cannot fix, 1,000 opinions you did not ask for, all aimed straight at the part of you that wants to control the world. You absorb the storm of things you cannot touch, and you wonder why you feel so heavy. By 9 a.m., Epictetus would ask one question: is any of this in your power? If not, why have you let it set the temperature of your whole day? The second place is your work and the opinions of the people in it. You replay the meeting. You wonder what your boss really meant, whether the silent colleague respects you, how that one comment landed. Notice, every bit of that is box 2. You cannot reach inside another person and arrange their judgment of you. What you can reach is your own conduct. Whether you prepared well, whether you spoke with honesty, whether you acted with integrity. Epictetus said it plainly. It is not enough that you do the right thing. You must also let go of how it is received. Aim at your effort. Release the verdict. That release is not weakness. It is where the pressure finally lets go. The third place is the hardest because it is the one you love. Your relationships. The outcomes you ache for and cannot force. Whether someone stays, whether they change, whether they love you back the way you need. You can be honest, you can be kind, you can show up fully and faithfully. That is all box 1, all yours. But the other heart is not a lever you get to pull. If you regard that which is not your own as being your own, he warned, you will lament, you will be disturbed, you will find fault with both gods and men. Every time you stake your happiness on a result inside another person, you have handed your peace to someone who never agreed to carry it. So here's the practice, the only one you need. The next time worry grips you, stop and ask one question. Is this in my control or not? If it is, then stop worrying and act. Worry is wasted on what you can change. Do the thing. And if it is not in your control, loosen your hands. Do your one small part and let the rest unfold as it will. Most of your anxiety cannot survive that single question asked honestly. The Stoics didn't have a pill. They had a question. Now do it with me, with the thing that is actually weighing on you tonight. Picture it, the one you carried into this video. Hold it up to the light and sort it. How much of it is your effort, your next action, your response? That part is real, and it is yours. Pour everything into it. And how much of it is the result, the timing, the other person, the verdict of the world? Watch how much of the weight belongs to that second pile, the pile you were never holding to begin with. You have been straining to lift something that was never on your shoulders. You can set it down, not because you stopped caring, but because it was never yours to carry. And here is what almost everyone misses, the part that turns this from a clever idea into a way of living. People hear the dichotomy of control, and they think it means resignation. Give up. Stop trying. Float through life shrugging at everything. That is the opposite of what Epictetus taught. Look again at the slave with the broken leg. He was not passive. He was the most disciplined man in the room. The whole point of releasing box 2 is so that you can pour your entire, undivided strength into box 1. The energy you waste arguing with reality, with traffic, with outcomes, with other people's minds, that energy comes home. It returns to the only place it can actually do work. Your next choice, your next action, your next word. Letting go of what you cannot control is not how you do less. It is how you finally do the one thing that matters with your full power. So we return to where we began. The crippled slave who is freer than the emperor. Now you know how. The emperor lived in box 2, terrified of plots, of rivals, of losing the throne, of what the mob would say. Every one of those was outside his control, and so the most powerful man alive was the most afraid. And the slave, who controlled almost nothing in the outer world, controlled the only thing that ever made a man free. His own mind, his own judgments, his own response. They could chain his leg. They could never reach his will. You were handed control of exactly one key. Your own mind, your own choices. Your next action is smaller than you wish it were. but it is entirely yours, and Epictetus spent his life proving it is enough. So here is the one rule to carry out of this. Before you let any worry take you, name its box. Box 1, then act. Box 2, then release. That single habit, practiced again and again, is the whole of Stoic freedom, and it was available to a slave 2,000 years ago, which means it is available to you tonight. Tend your kingdom well. Let everything else come and go like weather. If this brought you even a moment of peace, subscribe. New Stoic wisdom every day. Control what is yours, and let the rest go. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast sea, watching the relentless waves crash against the shore. You cannot halt their motion, nor can you command the tides. They are beyond your grasp, indifferent to your desires or demands. But within this uncontrollable expanse, there is something you can do. Choose how you stand, decide whether to build a boat, learn to swim, or simply walk away. This is the essence of Epictetus's insight. Life is this sea, a constant flow of events, people, and circumstances beyond your control. Yet, your response is the stable ground beneath your feet. Consider a stormy relationship, one where you've tried everything to change the other person. You're caught in the waves, exhausted, until you realize the storm is not yours to command. Yet, your choice to weather it, to steer your own course, is entirely yours. This is not surrender, but empowerment. The world outside may be chaotic, like the sea, but within your domain, your mind's harbor, you hold the wheel. Navigate from there, and let the waves crash where they may.